All right, welcome back to Ladies of the Night this week.
Hi,
How are you doing this week?
I'm good. A little tired from my
Yes,
little escapades last week.
I am also still recovering.
Once you hit 30, there's no recovery.
No, it's going to take me probably 14 business days to come back.
Give me 6 months time.
Mm-hmm. My voice just got back to normal, I would say about 2 days ago
Yeah.
from the screeching. So we'll talk more about that in a second. What have you been up to this week, pop culture
Um,
wise?
Not much. What was it? Last week we talked about finishing The Gilded Blade.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a couple days to get over that. I was not like traumatized, I would say, but like it felt like I like lost a piece of myself
Mm-hmm.
after finishing, what is it, 9 books, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a couple days to recover. But I did pick up, it's not like a series where like it interconnects, but it's like standalone and they're like fairy tale type books. And I'm trying to think what her name is. I'm gonna look it up. But I finished 3 books this week,
Wow.
which I think is a record for me, to be completely honest. Her name is Emily McIntyre.
Okay.
I finished her first book, which is called Hooked, which is a retelling of Hook. And then the second book is called Scarred, and it's like a Lion King remake-ish.
Fun.
And then the third one is called Wretched, and I was shocked. It was a Wizard of Oz retelling.
Huh.
So I've got all 3 of those done. I do have a new book coming out on Tuesday. It's called Daybreak.
Mhm.
It's a sequel to a book called Nightshade. I can't remember the author's name right now. But so I'm going to read that. I think it's a duology. So I'll be able to finish that right before we start our ACOTAR reread. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a lot of books in a week.
Yeah, that's
Good
what
for
I thought when I
you.
when I looked it up. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've started anything new. I've thought about rewatching Nobody Wants This.
Ooh.
I don't know why I have that urge. Maybe because we started our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been thinking about rewatching that. But I'm going to show the child in me here, my Disney adultness. I have restarted Phineas and Ferb on Disney Plus.
That'll be fun. I've never
What about
seen
you?
it. This week I'm on the last Dungeon Crawler Carl book. And hopefully my goal is to get it done before ACOTAR because I don't want to do overlap. I'm hoping this may be too proactive of me, but we'll see. I want to finish that, and then I'm going to read Yaga, which is a TV show that's coming out. I've talked to you a little about it, that Hudson Williams is going to be on. It is a supernatural thriller, and the book is more of a play. So I think it's only about 155 pages or something. So I'm hoping to get that done next week too. But that I could probably read with ACOTAR. So that's my ambitious reading goal for the next week. I'd like to read it before the show comes out. I want to see why everybody's screaming that Hudson's character is evil, which I can tell by the pictures. He's probably not a good guy. Just, yeah, looks like a vampire or something. So that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm still kind of rewatching Ted Lasso. It's going slower than I think. I'm hoping to finish before that comes out. I think it comes out in another week or so. And then I've been watching Rooster with Steve Carell on HBO. It's pretty fun. It's cute. I'll have that done in a couple of days. And then I'm an episode behind on House of the Dragon since I was out of town with you last weekend. So I do need to do that this weekend. So it's been mostly busy with reading, trying to get caught up on things. I've definitely slowed down with reading the last month, but a lot of that's had to do with how long Dungeon Crawler Carl is. Because
Yeah.
there's 800 pages, and then just I can only do so much of it at a time as much as I like it because it's a lot to digest. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of rules within the dungeon, things like that. So that's where I'm at. I'm hoping to be able to get those 2 done next week to focus on ACOTAR. But that's been the main thing with my week, so pretty chill.
I love it. I'm like excited for ACOTAR reread, but I'm also I'm like dreading reading the first book again, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's especially knowing where it goes. I'm
Hmm.
curious to see what things I catch this time that went over my head, the first go around because that was the first dive into that world. So I'm definitely going to take notes for us to talk about, but I am curious to see how it goes. I'm hoping to be able to read ahead a little bit than our schedule just to make sure, I don't get behind. But
Yeah.
I'm on the one hand, I'm excited to reread, but I'm also thinking about all the new stuff that's going to have to wait so I can get these done. But it'll be fun to dive back into that again because I haven't read it since 2023, so it's been a little while.
Yeah, I read it last year, and I'm also excited to see what all I pick up on this time, especially since we do know where it's going so far.
Yeah, for sure. And we should be able to, I feel like, read a little quicker because we're not trying to learn the world like you are the first go around.
Yeah.
But I'm
I feel like it
excited.
should be easier. Yeah. I feel like it should be easier to get through the chapters as well.
I do too, because anytime you dive into a new fantasy, sci-fi world, anything like that, you're spending a lot of time trying to keep up with things. And then I definitely think it's going to be the same way when we do Crescent City. Because
Yeah.
I love those books, but the world building is so intricate that the first probably 150 pages, you're like, what is going on? So I'm excited to
Mm-hmm.
be able to dive into that and not have to panic, over what's going on. So I'm looking forward to it, though. I can't believe it's nearly here.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Well, transition a little bit, bouncing back to something we talked about at the beginning. Why don't we talk a little about our off campus party? And as I say that, I can feel my voice cracking again. So I don't think
It's like preparing it. No.
Yes. I had a blast at it. I don't know about you. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was fun. I mean, that's not something I've ever obviously done before. I've never just gone to look at edits besides obviously just scrolling on TikTok.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought it was really fun. Everyone was nice, like everyone that
Mhm.
was at least around us.
Yeah, cuz you never know with stuff like that what you're going to encounter, but I felt like everyone around us was nice. Compared to the other shows, ours was not as crowded. And personally, I preferred that because, I mean, their big crowd energy's fun, but at the same time, I didn't feel like anybody was pushing on us. You could breathe. You had less room for people being jerks, things like that. So that was fun. And I feel like this is kind of a new thing, though, doing the edits and stuff, because I don't
Hmm.
really remember seeing anything like this prior to this year.
No.
What was your favorite part?
I don't know. I guess just like uh, like screaming out the words to these songs and then like seeing what different edits because like some of them were shocked too, like you and me because we had some Love Island edits in there and
Hmm.
obviously you don't watch Love Island but I do, so I was like recording them and I was sending them to Allie.
Hmm. Yeah. They definitely I guess for people who don't know what this is, it's Club 90s. They are a company that does these little parties. They've got a Michael Jackson one, they have a BTS one, early 2000s. They did Heated Rivalry earlier in the year. Now they're doing Off Campus, and it's a full set list. So I think I didn't realize that until we got there that they play the full songs and the edits were clipped with music videos. So it would show a little bit of the music video, then it would show the edit. And they did a little bit of a blend of fandoms. So we had Off Campus, of course. They threw in Love Island. There was 2 or 3 Love Island ones, if I remember right.
Yeah.
They did The Summer I Turned Pretty. There was a few of those. There was a bunch of Heated Rivalry. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, there was a Twilight. Um, then they had Red, White, and Royal Blue and Heartstopper, which I've never
Hmm.
seen Heartstopper, but I recognize the actors. But it was fun. I think my voice went out the first time they showed Hudson Williams because like I felt it in my throat and like I don't get that loud ever. And I think that was like the downfall for the night. And then screaming the songs. We did not go on the stage to dance. That was something
No,
that they did. They would call, like, are there any Garrett girls? Are there any Dean girls? Are there any Shane girls? Stuff like that. And we did not go up there. But
we did not. The people next to us wanted us to go so bad
yeah,
because we
because the
had on
girl,
our I had Tucker and then you had Dean on.
Yeah.
And so anytime they'd be like, oh, do we have a Dean girl? That like people would raise their hands and get a go up on stage. And we were like, absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
This is not for us.
No, because the girl next to you said something because you had Tucker on. Because I think Tucker was the first group they called up there. And then they did Dean. And then I switched places with you. I think you moved me so I could see something better. And then she saw I had an Elia pop socket on my phone. And when they did Connor and Elia, she looked at me and I was like, like, no, I'm not going up there. I should have, though, so I could watch the edits better and just stand under the screen. Yeah, because they would get in the way and, which I mean, they're up there having fun. Like, that's fine. But yeah, I wanted to see, the edits and stuff. But I enjoyed it.
wanted to see the edits.
I did, as if I hadn't seen some of those 100 times. So I did get to see my Same Damn Time, which was a heated rivalry and off-campus crossover. And then there was Big Ol' Freak. And I looked at Treva and I said, I know there's a heated rivalry edit to this. And then bam, and it started. And it is the freakiest edit in the whole fandom. It is so raunchy. And they played it in its entirety. Because it is 18 and older. So they did show a lot of the intimate stuff from all the shows. But I think my favorite thing outside of obviously the guys that we like was the man-child edit that showed Justin from off campus.
Yes.
That was funny. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I would do something like that again. I don't think I'll make plans to go to the Dallas one, though, because I think it'll be way more crowded.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's not a bad thing. Just it can be kind of overwhelming. But if they ever do another heated rivalry run, I will definitely go to that. I wish I could have gone earlier this year. But at the time, I didn't know as many people that watched it and then definitely made attempts to go and no one could. So I think it would have been fun. But I feel like I got to have some of that at this because they did show quite a bit of them. But it was a good time.
It was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of fun, and we had a good time. I hadn't seen Treva in person since September. Is that when we went to Disney? Yeah. So it's been a little bit, but it was fun. I'm glad that we were able to do it. It was a quick weekend, but always good to do fangirl things.
It really was.
Well, want to transition into news? We've got some news, and then we want to talk about the Odyssey more than we did last week, so we're going to wrap up with that in a little bit more of its entirety. We had a lot of things we wanted to talk about, but then we were excited about our party and our mind was on that and getting our Uber and all of those things. So I think we were kind of scatterbrained and we do want to talk more about the Odyssey because we've sent memes and have talked about it all week. So definitely still on the mind. But a couple of things that I just noted, and then I think the big thing this weekend, San Diego Comic-Con's going on right now. Tom Holland announced his next role is going to be Fred Astaire in their biopic for that. So that I thought that was interesting. He was the first person to throw up on camera on Hot Ones this week. And that's specific on camera because Matt Damon told him that he has thrown up off camera on Hot Ones. So Tom was the first to do it on camera. So poor Tom.
I've missed that. I will not that I want to see Tom throw up, but I definitely need to go watch that.
He does it beneath the table, so he bends over and you don't see anything, but it is on camera. And evidently he was the first one to do it on camera because he did I cannot think of what segment it is, but it's a cooking thing. He did that with Matt Damon and he was telling him about it and Matt told him he had thrown up off camera on it. So I guess it happens, but bless Tom, he was the first to do it on camera.
I can't, is that out yet? Is, the full episode out?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then I need to go watch it, because I need to see, obviously, once again, we got to talk about him. I need to see what John Berthel's reaction to that is.
Yeah. I can't remember what he does, but he's standing right next to Tom when it happens, because they're standing up, and it's right at the end, and he said it was a lot of milk and stuff because he was drinking the milk. So I hate that. That's awful. I mean, it's terrible to throw up anyway, but especially where everyone's watching.
It's hot sauce.
Yeah. So yes, definitely look it up. Let's see. There was also news with audiobooks this week. Jonathan Bailey is going to be voicing Dracula in the Dracula audiobook. So I might check that out because I do love Jonathan Bailey. Belmont Cameli did the Tresemme campaign with the curls. So we had that. There is a teaser for V-Man magazine that I also think is him. Have you seen that?
I have not.
I'll send it to you and see if you think it's him too. All they did was, so V-Man's a magazine. They did a big campaign earlier in the year. So here's my shout out of the week. Connor Story did it. So I have that magazine. But they it's their next group of campaigns, and all they did was show from about like collarbone down. You can see arms, and then they do a far away clip, and it's definitely a dark-haired guy with curly hair. To me, the build looks like Belmont, but I don't know. So we might find that out in the next week, but I will send it to you to see if you think it's him too.
FBI chicken is on the case.
Yes, I think it's him. And I'll show you the picture that I'm comparing the arms to. Some people said they thought it was Steven, but the build's not Steven Kalen. And then when his hair's dark, it's not curly like this. And then someone else said Hudson Williams. I was like, okay, one, his arms are covered in tattoos. The skin tone's not the same, and he does not have curly hair. I think it's Belmont because the caption says the internet's latest obsession per request or popular demand. So I think it's Belmont, but we'll find out. Because he ended up not being the Under Armour one, which I knew that wasn't him. That was Francois Arnault from Heated Rivalry, which I clocked because I know those abs. So we'll see. I'll send you the V-Man thing, though, because I do think it's Belmont.
FBI chicken will figure it out for us.
Yes, I'll get it to you. But transitioning out of that into Comic-Con, I don't watch it. It's on my list at some point, but you had the Rings of Power Season 3 trailer.
Yeah, on Tuesday, I had seen on TikTok, somebody had like posted that it's coming out November 11th. And I was like, okay, perfect. So then I went and I followed the Rings of Power page, and they were like, Friday at Comic-Con, we're dropping a trailer. And I guess I hadn't been like really paying attention on Friday, which was yesterday. And I had just gotten on and I had seen the trailer. And before I even like started watching it, I sent it to both my sister and my friend Dax because we really enjoy Lord of the Rings. From what I've heard from other people that have read the Silmarillion, it is not the same, which is to me completely fine. Like I haven't read any of the Lord of the Rings books. For me, it's just the enjoyment of being in the world of Lord of the Rings that I enjoy. So anytime they come out with something new, like obviously this TV show, we're in season 3. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait. And it's been, I think we've had to wait 2 years between every season because it's like a big production. And it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of time for Prime because usually they put their shows out pretty quick, but I imagine there's a lot of editing and things that go into that.
Yeah, and I think I want to say season 1, and then like we were in the middle of COVID, I think. And then season 2, we had the writer's strike, but I think they did get an exception to the writer's strike, if I'm not mistaken, and they could continue to film during that time. I don't know if it was something to do with where they were located or who the actors were. I'm not exactly sure on that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like 2 years between every season.
Wow.
For that.
So timeline-wise, where does it fit with Lord of the Rings? Is it a prequel?
So this is so all the seasons are before the Lord of the Rings. This is when the first ring, like the Ring of Power, is like created. So this is like before then.
It's even before the Hobbit then.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Because Bilbo has the ring, or he gets it from Gollum and the Hobbit. So this is even before then. This is when the ring is being made. So the last season we ended off, we were making the rings for the elves. I want to say we got a couple rings for the dwarves, and then I don't think the humans have got theirs yet.
Okay,
but they did tease obviously in the trailer that he is making the Ring of Power, and then we are introduced to the Nazguls, which is the 9 humans that have the rings, and then it corrupts them and all of that. So I'm very excited for this season to see where it leads us up to.
Yeah, it's on my list. I haven't got around to it for some reason. I like Lord of the Rings, but I'm not as into it as other people. I've read The Hobbit. I'm sorry, I keep clearing my throat. It's like firing up again. It has PTSD. But that's exciting that you guys have finally got something. I didn't realize it had been that long since the last season, but I guess it makes sense because I hadn't seen anything. I did see a little clip of the panel, though, with Jamie Campbell Bower.
Yeah, he's playing Celeborn, which is Galadriel's husband. I don't think in the Lord of the Rings we see him. I think he's mentioned. And then
Okay.
obviously in the prior seasons of the show, he's also mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
but he is married to Galadriel. Because
Maybe
I
I'll
wasn't
catch up
sure
before
exactly.
November.
I wasn't sure exactly who he was playing, and then obviously we got the clip, and then they introduced him
Mm-hmm.
at Comic-Con, and then the pictures on Instagram were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is who he's playing," and I was like, "Oh, okay, perfect." We're gonna continue to just keep adding him into every single series known to mankind. Okay.
That is literally what I was about to say. Like, Jamie books it, you know. So he was in Twilight, he was in Harry Potter, he was in the Mortal Instruments in the movie. You know,
He was
unfortunately,
in
they didn't
Stranger
continue those.
Things.
Stranger Things, now this, that. He just keeps popping up in all these major adaptations and franchises. So good for him.
I
I
was
like
talking.
him.
I was talking to my sister yesterday about him, and I was like, I think the only series he has not been involved in is Divergent, which we never got a last movie to,
Yeah.
and he's not been in the Hunger Games. I
Mm-mm.
was like, Suzanne Collins writes another book. He's going to be booked
He could.
into the world of the Hunger Games.
Yeah. It's insane how many major franchises he's been in or book adaptations, you know, depending how you look at it. So, yeah, he's a cool guy. So, I did see a little bit of that panel just with him because there's not a whole lot at San Diego Comic-Con this year that I've paid a whole bunch of attention to. Just I knew that was happening, and then AMC had a pretty big panel because they talked about their Walking Dead spinoffs. I don't watch them. I did watch The Walking Dead in one spinoff, and then they're both done, and I loved it, don't get me wrong, but I was just kind of done.
Yeah.
Then they did announce they renewed Interview with the Vampire for season 4, and it's changing names again. So this current season was called The Vampire Lestat. And this
Mm-hmm.
next one is, I've got it written down, Anne Rice's Queen of the Damned. So, swapping titles, but it's all the same show. So I'm glad that that was renewed because I've enjoyed it. I don't know that I'll ever read the books because there's 13 of them, I think. So that's a big commitment. And they're older. So I don't know. We'll see. I got a list. And then the only other thing that I was watching for, and it hasn't had the trailer yet, was Yaga that I talked about earlier. So I'm hoping it says the fall, and we're getting it on AMC Plus in the US, but I'm hoping it'll be October because it sounds spooky. And I'd love to have a spooky show in October.
That'd be fun.
But I'm excited to see the trailer later today and get a glimpse at it. It's like a small town thing. This fishery heir goes missing, which is Hudson. Noah Reed from Schitt's Creek is on it. I think he's adorable. And then Carrie Ann Moss is the lead, which this is a funny thing to say, but I know people think of her with The Matrix, but I always think of Jessica Jones, which that is the most random thing to associate her with, but that's what I thought when I was seeing her.
I think when you first see an actor, like, whatever you've seen them first in kind of like sticks in your brain.
I think it does too, because I had not seen The Matrix until about a year or two ago, actually. It's just not something I grew up with. And I want to say that Jessica Jones may have been the first thing I saw her in.
It's kind of like for me, with like Matthew Lillard. Like, even though he played Stu in
I think it's Scooby-Doo.
Scream, I automatically think of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Okay, I feel better like having that conversation just now because when I was reading the premise for the show, my brain went to Jessica Jones, and then I don't know
if I've automatically what I think of her in as well as Jessica Jones.
I feel better. Yeah, because I was like, oh, okay,
I'll validate you. Okay, I'll validate you.
Yeah, and I'll probably think it when I watch the trailer later. It's like a modern telling of Baba Yaga, which makes me think of Baba Yellowlegs and Throne of Glass, which I know has no relation, but like that's where my mind goes to when I hear Baba.
My brain,
Baba Yaga. So we'll see. I'm excited, but I definitely am excited to read the book or the play because I think people online in the heated rivalry fandom have read it, and so they know why they're saying Hudson's character is evil. But I want to know. I really hope he's like a vampire or something because that'll be kind of hot. But I don't know. We'll see. He's probably a murderer.
And it's like shocking to me that we don't have very much from San Diego Comic-Con.
No.
It's, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody. At least for me, it feels kind of like, not like a letdown, but like like years ago, a couple, like, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, I felt like that was like the thing to watch, whether we were
Mhm.
watching for like a Marvel panel to like see what's coming out with
Mhm.
Marvel, or like Supernatural, or even like the Vampire Diaries. Like
Mhm.
we were like booked and busy. Like that was a
Yeah.
full-time job, like following everything with Comic-Con.
It was. I at the time when I would say it was peak Comic-Con, I was still blogging on Tumblr. I've talked about I ran a couple blogs and I would spend Thursday to Sunday on the computer most of the time because I would edit pictures from the panels as soon as they went up. I would make GIFs of the panels, post the videos of the panels, all of that. And it's just died off over the years. And I'm not saying that it's bad, just I don't feel like it's what it once was because it used to be a really big deal. And I don't hear people talk about it as much
Mm-hmm.
anymore. The only reason I caught wind of it this year was because of this trailer that I was talking about. And then, I knew they were doing Dungeon Crawler Carl, or I can't remember if it got a full panel or not, but they did announce the voice for Donut on the show, which is the guy who does her and does the whole book. He's the narrator for the audiobooks, but that was it. And then, like you said, used to, I had a panel every day. I had a TV show or a movie every day up there, and it's just not like that anymore. And I don't know why.
The last thing that I had that was really big was the Hunger Games, I think was the last thing.
Hmm. I I don't remember my last Comic-Con thing because it used to be the main things I would watch for were Teen Wolf, Vampire Diaries, Supernatural. Supernatural was always Sunday. I remember that. But I don't know. I just don't pay attention to it like I used to. I know Marvel has skipped it a couple of years now, so I hate that. It was always one that I really wanted to go to.
Yeah, I
And
know. I know at least for me, I had gotten tickets a couple years and then like it just didn't work out and I
mhm,
like gave back my tickets. But
mhm.
yeah, that was like the thing. Like you would stay like outside Hall H. You would like camp
Yep.
out there for like a day or two in order to see whatever panel you wanted to go
Mhm.
see.
Yeah, and that was always the really big ones. So, like Game of Thrones, the Marvel panels, things like that. New York Comic Con seems to, I wouldn't say it's the biggest, but I feel like I see and hear more about it now than San
Hmm.
Diego. And San Diego, in all honesty, the whole thing is just way too expensive.
I want to say, I think New York is the biggest because a lot of celebrities live in New York. And then
Hmm.
on top of that, like they get some good guests. Like a
Yeah,
couple
they
years
do.
ago, they got Oscar Isaac, and I really wanted to go see him. My friend Kate went and saw him there, and I was like, send me all your pictures immediately.
Yeah, they do book good guests. Well, in New York Comic Con has the opportunity or more opportunities to meet people than San Diego does. San Diego, it's select because I know Supernatural would have signings,
Mhm.
and I want to say Teen Wolf did a few times. So they don't have as many opportunities to meet people, but the upside is you get to see footage and stuff that the public won't see for a while, with the exception of
Yeah.
some of the trailers go online after, but sometimes they would show footage from things and people wouldn't get to see it for a couple of months.
I I think at San Diego too, like they give you stuff.
Yeah, there's
Like
a lot of gifts.
at least for me, like when the Hunger Games was really big, I had somebody that would go to Comic-Con and they got me a bunch of signed stuff from the Hunger Games.
Mhm.
And they brought me back like a Mockingjay pin, which was so nice because I'm like obsessed with the Hunger Games at that point in time. So they brought me like a bunch of posters signed by the cast and stuff, and I still have all of it.
Mhm. Yeah, they've got a lot of exclusives, and then there's sometimes Funko exclusives that are Comic-Con only. I think it's still a cool thing, just it doesn't attract our attention the way it used to.
Yeah,
I mean, that being said, I'm still gonna
definitely.
watch my trailer in a couple of hours
Yeah,
and skim for
yeah.
anything that maybe
We're not glued to our
no.
devices like we once were.
No, and I mean, even really, the only thing is, I looked at the schedule yesterday to kind of see because then I saw you had Rings of Power yesterday, and then I was looking to see what time my show's panel is, which is later today, and then after that, I was just like, okay, And then I went about my business, that it just, I don't know, it wasn't anything that I felt like I needed to be glued to the phone for news, and that's definitely how it used to be.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to transition into Doomsday, speaking of Comic-Con?
Yes. Well, when did we get that trailer? Did we get it on Monday?
Mm,
Yeah, I think so. I think it dropped on Monday.
it might have been Monday. It was early in the week.
Mm-hmm. What
And
did
then
you think of the trailer?
I mean, I'm excited. It's kind of trippy to me, even though we've had different superheroes come together in Avengers movies before. There's something about having X-Men and Fantastic Four with them that like had me really giddy because we haven't had that, and especially not the OG X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the Fantastic Four they're using is in the MCU, but to have like another group come in with X-Men, I think that's really cool. I'm very excited.
I'm excited to see the OG X-Men as well. Like, something just maybe it's nostalgia, just like
Mm-hmm.
seeing the OG X-Men. That's really fun. I'm interested to see how exactly they're going to bring them to our world. Because if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, the last time we seen them was at the end of the Marvels when
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau, when
Mm-hmm.
she was taken to that other dimension or world.
Yeah, because that's when we saw Beast, the
Yeah.
OG Beast. Because Deadpool and Wolverine didn't, right? At least not that I can recall.
No, we just had that tiny little clip with Chris Evans.
Yeah, so
I
I
think
don't
that
know.
was it.
I'm very curious to see that too. I think it was interesting they do not show Doctor Doom's face at all, which I mean obviously
Yeah.
100% intentional. Then I had thought whenever Thor's like it can't be, I thought he was going to be standing there in front of Doom with his mask off and it looks like Tony, but it was Steve.
I mean, it could be.
And they clipped it to fool us.
Yeah, it could be Doom still. We don't know.
Mhm.
But yes, I did see a lot of people online think it could be Hydra Cap. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think it can be him because he wouldn't be able to lift Mjolnir.
No.
That was like the whole premise, is that like he was hiding the secret of Bucky killing Tony's parents, and that's why he couldn't lift it in the first place.
Mhm.
So I was like, I don't think if he's Hydra Cap, I don't think he can lift it.
I wouldn't think so either, but Hydra Cap is something people have theorized for years. I feel like every time something with Captain America was coming up, everybody thought that was coming.
See,
And then
but
it
then
didn't.
we got that little bit in Endgame when they go
Hmm.
back in time and he's like, Hail Hydra. I feel like
Yeah.
that was a nod to that. I don't think we're getting Hydra Cap
I
though.
don't either. I think that was the extent of it. But there's been a lot of things over the years people thought they were going to do and they didn't. People were pretty certain that they would do Bucky as Cap, and then they went with
Yeah.
Sam.
And then
And
we had a lot of talk about Mephisto that
mhm.
went on for multiple shows.
It reminds me of the way us Swifties can be about stuff, that we don't stop because we're insistent that it's
Yes.
happening. That's very much how Marvel can be sometimes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't love that they did the tickets this early. That really honestly bothered me. I did get one, and I think the part that bothers me is because I have an A-list membership with AMC, and so until December, one of my spots is filled. And I hate that because if things get
Yeah.
busy and there's a bunch of stuff I want to see, I'm either going to wind up having to pay for a movie or juggle stuff around. But I'm going at 1 o'clock on the 18th by myself. That was the only way I could swing it because by the time I got into the 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever the evening was, everything was gone. And so I looked at the 1 o'clock and this is big of me because I don't do this. I'm sitting in between two strangers.
I do want to preface, the tickets that have gone on sale are for the Infinity Vision, which is kind of like their IMAX type thing, because all the IMAXs are sold out. Everything
Mm-hmm.
went to Dune. So like, from my understanding, Marvel kind of created this like IMAX-ish experience with Infinity Vision, and it's supposed to be like brighter and better than the rest of them. I know they're re-releasing Endgame in it before Doomsday. And so, like, for me, I didn't get tickets to this because it was only showing in one theater, which is like 45 minutes away. So I'm just waiting for regular standard tickets to go on sale so I can go to the theater closest to me.
Yeah, and that should be when it gets closer, I would think, because the Odyssey did that almost similar, because their IMAX tickets, at least for the 70 millimeter, went on sale last summer. So, but because I'm going to this so early, now I'm hoping I can catch Dune the same night.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to be able to do that. In that instance, hopefully I'll take a friend. If not, I'm having a solo day back to back for Doomsday.
You got to make one of those TikToks. I've seen everybody that's like that does like the pop thing where they walk out of the theater and then they pop into the next one for either Dune or Doomsday.
I need to do it, and I can wear my Yelena costume to Doomsday, and then when I come back for Dune, I don't have a Dune costume, but I could wear my Anakin Skywalker robe and go into the theater. But yeah, I'm hoping maybe because of the timing for this now that I can see them in the same day. Because like Barbieheimer, I saw them a day or two apart. And it was just because of the timing of the showings and stuff. And I had wanted to see Oppenheimer in IMAX. And I have to drive an hour to do that. So, but yeah, it's crazy. I mean, everything is gone. I looked at mine the other day, and my Spider-Man showing on Thursday is also entirely sold out. So Marvel gets people to the theater.
I think it depends on what it is.
That's true.
People,
yeah.
I think people are definitely more selective now because, like, obviously for me, I never went and seen Fantastic Four. I don't plan to see Fantastic Four. I'm just not a fan of the cast. But obviously, I'm gonna go see Spider-Man. Do I know when I'm gonna go see Spider-Man? No, but I will be seeing it opening weekend at some point in time.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably going to have to go straight from work, too, so I need to remember to pack one of my Spider-Man shirts.
I think, I'm trying to think who all is in Doomsday. Because we did get the, like a shot of Shang-Chi and Gambit. So at least we know Gambit made it out of the void.
Yes.
That gives me hope for Blade.
Yeah, because I think there's a possibility there's some people that they're not showing yet.
Yeah.
And we'll have some surprises.
I really wish that they would put the OG X-Men and the X-Men First Class. I wish they would like bring them together in this one, because you know me, I love Jennifer Lawrence.
That'd be legit. I would love to see Nicholas Hoult again as Hank. Jennifer, and then James and Michael were the four that I liked best.
Yeah. I mean, I am interested to see if we have any other like special cameos, who exactly it will be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I do keep hoping Wanda will make her way back somehow, but I don't know.
I mean, they could pull her from another timeline. Potentially, if anything.
It would be fun to put...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, it'd be fun to put her with, if we're pulling from other timelines, to put her with Evan Peters' Quicksilver again. But like actually him, not whatever his name was in WandaVision. I can't remember, but it wasn't actually Quicksilver.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen WandaVision.
Me too, but anyway, put like him as actually Quicksilver. Like I would like that because I did enjoy him.
It would be fun to bring Aaron Taylor Johnson back as well.
Yeah,
it's been a hot minute since we've seen him.
Yeah, he was so short lived, and I did like him in it.
I mean, we could theorize about this all day. I mean, if you're opening up the multiverse, you literally could bring in almost anybody. And then we also have to remember that we do have Secret Wars coming too.
Yeah, which is next December. Is that right? Is that where they've got it right now?
I think so.
I still can't believe this and Dune are coming out on the same day.
We'll
Like,
see who wins the box office.
I know, because I don't know. It could go either way, I think.
For me personally, I think it'll be Marvel just because people want to see who's all in that movie.
Yeah, but this is also like a big Dune climax, too, for people who've read the books. So I don't know. It'll be fun.
I will not be going to see Dune. I will wait for streaming, so my money will be going to Marvel.
I will get my money twice in the same day. Or I don't know how that works with my AMC thing, but I will be there. The theater people will probably recognize me come. Actually, there is a lady that works at my theater that I'm pretty sure recognizes me when I come. And it's usually on a Saturday morning when I go by myself. And in my head, I'm like, I swear to God, I come with other people, ladies. You just happen to see me at my like solo screenings. But I mean, I guess it's a good thing I don't mind going solo because that was the only way to see Doomsday that early was to go alone. And I'm fine with that. I gotta know.
I feel you.
Well, so movies, we've got about 20-ish minutes left in today. Want to dive into the Odyssey?
Yes, since we didn't get to talk about that, let me pull up my notes.
Talk about it more in detail anyway, because man, it
Yes.
has been on my mind the last week, and then the memes.
We've been sending so many memes.
My favorite, besides all the aura farming, are the oh my gosh, now I'm blanking. Oh, somebody get these bears out of here, because there's been
my favorite
so many.
is when they. My favorite's the Matt Damon screaming, and we're just putting it with like everything.
Yes. I saw one that said something about we're passing the sirens and this song comes on and it's a 5 Seconds of Summer song that I like called I'll Never Sleep Again. And he's just sitting there screaming while Five Sauce is playing.
The first thing I have is I talked about it, 2 to 3 weeks ago, about John saying, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
They cut that out of the movie. It is not said once.
So I think it was either because I went back and watched trailers too to verify we didn't hear it in a trailer and I never heard it. So they either said he said it for just promotion or they cut it. It's definitely one or the other.
John is the one who said that he.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, he could have been just trying to hype people up too.
So that is the first thing I had was he did not say, let me tell you something.
No, because I've seen it twice and paid attention both times and never heard it. But the funny thing is a lot of people think it's the same line. Let me tell you something about Odysseus, because I've seen multiple people say that. And so that's what made me think it was in a trailer, but I never could find it. So at this point, I'm wondering, was it a Mandela effect situation? Because a lot of people thought he said it like that.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was in a trailer.
I went through all of them and I never could find it.
Weird. Somebody is going to have to send us this clip if they find it, because I swear he says that.
And when you put it together like that, it does sound like something you've heard before, you know, for some reason. So I don't know if they cut it or if it was just something they threw out there, but he definitely does not say it in the movie.
And then on the topic of John, we found out this week that, or at least last week, whenever it was, that they actually filmed all those scenes in the horse in the water. There was like 20 guys shoved into that horse. And then you had Christopher Nolan in there. And then you also had one of the other guys in there as well with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
he does not like CGI, so it really shouldn't be surprising that it was as real as it could be. But that is crazy to think about. That is intense, both to film and, you know, to act in.
And I've seen it, I think once with John and once with Matt Damon, they talked about how the water was supposed to be warm and that it actually was freezing cold because it was in the middle of winter in Mykonos. And so they had all these guys in water, John being one of them. And at one point, Christopher Nolan wanted to like pull John out. And he's like, no, just get what you need. Let's go. Like, we're not doing that. And so apparently that like set the bar for filming, is that like if you're cold or like whatever, it's kind of like a push through it type mentality.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, though, if I were there, I would probably also do anything that Christopher Nolan wanted me to do because it's Christopher Nolan, you
Yeah.
know? But yeah, it's insane. And I guess you would call it a puppet they used for the Cyclops. The whole scene on Cersei's island, there was no CGI, it was all prosthetics and things. Just, I mean, it is insane what he can do. I think there's a reason his movies are the best of the best. Very, very
And they're
cool.
entertaining. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was a movie where I like sat down and I was like, well, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Mm-mm.
it's engaging. A lot of times I like the actors that are in there. Sometimes I don't. But even
Mm-hmm.
if I don't like them, I'm still like, wow, they put on like a great performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he uses a lot of the same people, but it's because they're good and they're do a good job in the different films and roles. And I mean, most actors will say it. I mean, it's a big deal to be in one of his movies.
Yeah. I know Jennifer Lawrence wants to be in one so bad.
I'm surprised she hasn't, but that'd be cool if she was one day.
I've seen a lot of people be like, if she's going to be in one, it needs to be like a horror movie, like type. And I was like, that makes sense, but I feel like she can do more than that. I know obviously she's done like Mother and things like that, but I feel like she
Mm-hmm.
has a lot more depth.
I
So
do
I feel like she could be in
too.
any movie.
Any any of his drama, sci-fi, thing, I feel like she could do it because I mean, even some of the people in them are typically in other genres and they've done a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. I can't wait for it to come out. I definitely want to get a steelbook or something. And I'm hoping they do a vinyl soundtrack because I
Yeah.
100% will buy that. I like all the memes with where people are putting their hoods on, or it's usually a blanket actually, and they're like thrumming their like iPad cord and stuff
Yeah.
to the bowstring. Like charging my iPad for the first time in a week, or we've seen some about fan fiction, like, Mom, have you heard of
Yeah.
Wattpad? And then it's the bow. You want to talk about our boy and his armor? That's a big
Yeah,
transition.
the aura farming is crazy. I don't know how many times I've said this to you. It's got to be at least like 50 by now. Agamemnon's armor is like the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in
It
my
really
life.
is.
Like, and
And
people
I
are
don't,
mad that it's like it's not like it doesn't fit the ages. I could care less.
yeah,
That
I
suit is the
don't
most
care.
amazing thing I've ever seen.
It is. I have thought that every single time I've seen it. I really don't think, honestly, probably they didn't think it was going to be such a big deal. The interviews with Benny Safdie about it are funny because genuinely, I don't think he or anybody expected it to blow up the way it did. But his presence in it, and he talked about how much it weighed and stuff, that he had to walk a certain way. And I think that's kind of what fed the aura. Plus, the way it looks, I like that they don't show his face really ever. You catch glimpses. So I like the mystery of it. It feels very Darth Vader in a way. But oh my gosh, yeah. Every single time I'm like, my God, what a man.
I literally, I want to say the first time we seen him, at least for us in the theater, the first time we seen him when they opened the gates, I'm pretty sure I turned and looked at you and I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Well, that's the second time you see him, because the first time's when he does that whip around after Troy when they're going to get on the boats. So you get that whip around, and then the next time you see him is the gates, and he takes his little step forward, and then they just flood past him, and it's like, my God. Yeah, it's cool.
I don't know. It's amazing. I love to see all the memes of it about him just aura farming, and then like I don't know, like it's absolutely amazing. Like I won't shut up about this armor for the rest of my life.
No, every time I see a post about it, I think I like it, so I'll get more of them. But yeah, it looks so cool, especially when they go to. I'm probably not putting it the right way, but essentially when he goes and raises the dead, that part too, it looks so cool.
Yeah, with his like dirty face, and then he like instead of like drinking from it, he like dips a finger in the blood.
Yeah,
like it was just like peak aura farming. Swear to God.
Yeah, it was so cool. But that was, I think, one of my favorite things. Another one that was a favorite that's just, I don't know if it's the line itself, if it's the way Matt Damon says it, but it's when the crew is eating the sun god's cattle and he finds them in the secret hole and he walks up. And the best, though, was it was on Threads, I think, and it's that picture of Ben Affleck with a cigarette where he's just like done and he's like got his head cocked back, and it says Odysseus when he found his men eating the cattle or whatever, because that's literally just kind of where Odysseus was at. But the line is, "Did you think if you ate quietly, the sun god wouldn't hear you?" And for some reason, I think he was just truly done with them by that point. And I feel like it's worth sharing. But after our party, we had DoorDashed Buffalo Wild Wings at like 12 in the morning. I think we had it about 12:30, and we were sitting in our hotel room and they didn't give us silverware. And so we were eating our wings with our hands and just silence, just, being tired, hot, sweaty. And Treva goes,
it's like the Avengers at the end of the original Avengers where they're just eating in silence. That's us.
Yes, that is the scene you're seeing. And then Treva goes, "This must be how Odysseus' men felt when they got the cattle." Oh, it was so funny. But yeah, I love that.
It's so funny because at that point, he has told them that they're going to die. And so, like, I get you want to get off the island, but, like, what makes you think that doing what Odysseus said you're going to die for? Like, maybe it's just starvation.
Well,
I don't know. I just don't understand. Like, for me personally, if he's like, "You're going to die if you eat this," I'm like, well, I'm just going to starve to death on this island. Then,
well, that's the thing, though. They said they would rather drown than starve.
And
which
that's what happened.
And it is. And I think to some degree, maybe they didn't want to listen to him because he doesn't make the best choices when they start home. He could have followed the other ships and not gone this way. Maybe these things would have happened. I don't know. And then he stirred the pot with shooting the Cyclops with the arrow. But then you would think after everything that happens on Cersei's island that they would have started to listen to him. But, there's just all the tension and stuff.
But you also have to think, if he would have followed the other ships, would he have had the same welcome that Agamemnon did? Would he,
I don't know,
died a certain way? So it's like, it's these correlations of what if? What if he had told them originally that everyone's going to die? Would they have still chosen the decisions that they did? Would they have chosen to all die in, the whirlpool or the monster eating everybody? So it's interesting to think your actions have different consequences.
Yeah.
And at one point when I'm pretty sure it's in the Isle of Hades or whatever, he says, "It doesn't matter what you do, they're all going to die." So I don't know if it would have been better to let his men pick how they died.
Yeah,
up until that point,
I don't know, because when you think about it too, with the cattle and stuff, I think they probably would have just starved because the wind doesn't shift until they eat it. So that really there was a no-win situation because truly he is told they're all going to die. You are the only one that's going to make it home. And in the book, the gods are present, and they just kind of talk about them abstractly in the movie, but they are more of a presence in the book, which kind of goes into about Athena. That's a whole thing that kind of like we're saying with this, all these what ifs and things. There's a lot of stuff online about, did he hallucinate or is it a trauma thing? Is that how she chose to present herself? Was Athena killed at the temple? Because there's a big thing through the whole movie, that people could be a god in disguise. So there's a lot of stuff around that. I read a Reddit thread earlier that people don't like all those theories, that they like it is Athena, that's it, because they feel it's disrespectful to the book, and saying that the gods aren't present. So I don't know if she was the only god in the film that actually showed up, or if he was imagining her, if it was a guilt thing, because after he clears his conscience basically on the steps, she goes away. So I don't know. I like to think it was her, and that's how she was presenting herself, was the girl that they beheaded. But I don't know. I like, though, that it was left up to a little bit of interpretation. It sounds like some people don't like that from what I was reading, but I did. I liked that it was kind of open-ended.
And I feel like that's another thing, like with Nolan's films, is like it's up to a lot of things are like
A lot
up
of them,
to your
yeah.
interpretation. Because there was some being like, oh, it was just a priestess, the PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
that's just what he imagined with the PTSD. And then a lot of time the other people were like, no, because she was beheaded, that was Athena in disguise. She was pretending
Mm-hmm.
to be a priestess in her own temple. They killed her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting for you to be able to kind of like choose your own
Mm-hmm.
adventure, I guess.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah. Because he has many films that are left open like that. He likes things that are twisty and stuff, like The Prestige and Memento are both big, mind game.
Inception is
Inception's
one with
another
the
one,
spinning
yeah.
top.
Tenet has a lot of things that really make you think. So I do like that. And then he's got some that are pretty straightforward, like
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. So they're always very interesting to me, but I liked that was left up to interpretation, and Zendaya just got to sit there and judge him the whole time.
I mean, it's Zendaya. She can do whatever she
Hmm.
wants.
She had an interview during the press tour where she talked about when Tom was cast, because he was cast before her and he had the script, and she said, well, there was a Christopher Nolan script in my house. I'm not going to not take a peek. And
Right.
anyway, he comes around that he comes back and tells her they've got a part for her in the movie. So I think that's cool that they wound up in it together. And I think she was good for Athena, and I enjoyed that. But it's funny, I don't have it in front of me, but you and I looked at the breakdown of the screen time for different people in the movie, and it's crazy how little it actually is when it's put down to minutes for her and a
Yeah.
couple of other people. And the letterbox reviews have been so funny too.
I haven't seen any. I guess I've seen a couple, but I haven't like gone into depth about it. But a lot
Hmm.
of it is about the armor.
The armor, there's some about, I've seen a lot about if it was Ben Affleck waiting in Ithaca, he would have
He
got
would
his
have got
ass
home like
back
that.
there. Yeah, he would have got home to Penelope. Those are pretty funny. You sent it to me, but I actually did find it on a letterbox too. Somebody said my favorite part of the Odyssey was when Odysseus shot the deer and it turned out to be Ilya Rozanov because of the butt.
Yeah.
Well, the deer also had curly hair, so it does look like Ilya laying there. But yeah, a lot of them have been about the armor and stuff. But yeah, I like the Ben Affleck ones too, because yeah, he would have got home real quick if Ben was waiting in Ithaca.
Yeah, if it was Ben Affleck, immediate.
I think I'm really torn on if this or Project Hail Mary were my favorite movies of the year. I can't pick. It's been neck and neck because Project Hail Mary is so good too.
I've seen a lot of people on at least Twitter that are like, listen, we get it's a great movie, but Project Hail Mary deserves to win a lot more Oscars. And I was like,
I don't
and
know.
that's
I
up
don't
to him because
know.
I think the Odyssey's front runner right now, according to people that they've polled.
I feel like it probably is the front runner, but they're so different. I do every year on Letterboxd, I do my top 10 in a list, and it goes on my profile, and I've left Project Hail Mary up right now with the Odyssey as number 2, but I don't know because they're so good in different ways. But I cried in both, so there's that.
I did cry as well in the
Cried
Odyssey.
over his dog when the little
Oh my
tail
God.
comes up. Oh, kills me. But
I told Shelby when we were watching trailers, there is one thing that will guarantee I will not go watch a movie, and is if a dog is prominent beside the lead, I will not go watch it because I know I will just bawl the entire time.
Me too. I cannot. It upsets me because I'm a big dog person, and then especially since my dog passed almost 2 years ago, I get really upset. Especially if it looks like my dog. Like I have a hard time with Crypto in the Superman movies, but yeah, because we saw 2 trailers for movies that are going to have dogs. There was one with Brad Pitt, and then Jacob Elordi has a movie coming out, and he has a dog in it. And I don't know that anything's so the dog in the Jacob Elordi one is just a sidekick. He happens to have the dog, but the one with Brad Pitt, the dog is the storyline, and that worries me. And then we had, the dog in the Odyssey too. But yeah, I can't.
We had multiple dogs.
Yeah,
because
John
Leguizamo was thrown. over the
Yeah,
cliff. And I
there
was
was
like,
the puppy over the cliff. The first time I saw it, I wasn't positive that's what happened, but everybody gasped around me. And then when I saw it with you, I was like, he did toss the puppy off the cliff. I don't
mhm,
love that. Then his other dogs got killed later when he was having to burn the bodies, and I hated
mhm.
that. But yeah, I can't do dog deaths, and then I can't do something happening to dads. I get really upset about that. And it's funny because Tom Holland talked about that the other day. If there's something like with a dad in a movie, he cries. But then if it's a mother, that doesn't really affect me. But you know, I have mommy issues. So it's like, eh. But if it's the dad, like Interstellar, which obviously Christopher Nolan too, I bawl and bawl and bawl in Interstellar because of Murphy, which is Jessica Chastain's character, and then Matthew McConaughey's her dad. Like I'm talking like my face goes numb, like dry heaving, crying. That's my movie. When I need to cry, I watch.
I
So
just, if I need a good cry, I will just watch the mom dying in The Land Before Time.
it's funny how most people do have a "this is my cry" movie, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Interstellar
Or the beginning of Up. Oh my God, don't
Up
even get me
makes me
started
cry
on that.
too. Yeah, Up makes me cry as well. About Time is another one that makes me cry a lot with Rachel McAdams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I cry a lot in the last song. That's another dad movie. I actually won't watch that. That one bothers me.
I
So
haven't watched the last song in
I
years.
haven't either because it screws me up. But yeah, so well, we'll transition out of the Odyssey for our wheel. But I'm glad that we were able to talk more about it. So I love that when a movie leaves an impact like that, though.
It's the
Okay,
armor.
it is it's the armor. I need some fan fiction. I need a Funko Pop. They do have an Odysseus Funko Pop.
Fingers crossed we do get some Funko Pops, because if I can get that armor, like, if that doesn't win Best Costume Design, the Oscars are rigged.
Yeah, I'll turn off the TV. Like if that doesn't. But yeah, if they do a Funko Pop of him, I'm gonna find a little special place for him, and just yeah, it is insane. And you need bald John Bernthal.
I need the Agamemnon, and then I need the John Bernthal one, like,
Mm-hmm.
immediately.
I would definitely get Tom Holland because I've got most of his little pops. Okay, so I'm
I
gonna
think
spin
I've
our
got
wheel. Oh, you wait. You
No,
have a
you're
couple.
good.
You have a
I
couple
was
Punishers.
I was gonna say, I think I have all of John's, which I don't think I made a Shane one, but I do have the Punisher ones.
I can't remember. I know they did Walking Dead Funkos. I only ever bought one of them, and it was for my dad. I got him Daryl Dixon, and
Mm-hmm.
he sits on his like toolbox at work. But yeah, I don't know who all they came out with because I didn't buy those as much. But I am spinning our wheel. We're gonna do the Odyssey. And then if don't remember a character name, just say the actor because I know I still can't even keep up with all the names. Most underrated. So who do you think's the most underrated? So we could do underrated performance or underrated character. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Lupita for underrated performance, because I feel
Yeah.
like for as little screen time as she had, she kind of left an impact,
Mm-hmm.
because she played Helen, and then obviously she played the twin sister. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she had like maybe 2 minutes of screen time. I think that was underrated.
Yeah. I think I agree, Lupita, and then my other one will probably be Elliot Page, in
Mm-hmm.
particular with the shade scene. Both of them have very little screen time, which is, I mean, when you think about it as a whole, I think those would be my underrated performances if we're going
Yeah.
with that. Because everybody's talking about, obviously Matt Damon, Benny Safdie, Anne Hathaway, a little bit of Tom Holland, but there were so many people throughout the whole movie that, were awesome in different ways. Man, I'm still not over it.
No, definitely not.
Well, next week we will start ACOTAR on Saturday, which we usually record on Saturdays or Sundays, so we won't dive in a whole lot with it yet. But after that, we'll start talking about the chapters that we've got on our schedule for that week in more detail. So a lot of it will be ACOTAR, but we still will talk about news and happenings.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. So it's not all going to be ACOTAR because we're not a book podcast, but we will start getting into that a little bit. So can read and follow along with that. So the timing of it's kind of weird because we won't have really read much by the time we record. So, but we'll get started with that and see what happens. And maybe San Diego Comic-Con will surprise us with some things before the weekend's out for next week. We'll see. So, all right. Well, everyone, until next time. Bye.
Bye.